She brings so much creativity to the table. She brings passion, joie de vivre. I mean, she brings all the energy.
Everyone feels like her best friend. She just gets to know people on a very personal level, and you feel really connected to her.
She's an excellent boss. I wish she was around more, though. She's working on so many different things. We only get to see her every once in a little while.
Her giving in the local community, I just think has had an impact on all of us. It's a role model for all of us to step up and give.
She actually loves life, and I mean, she's got a fantastic laugh.
Constant variety, always something new, always an exciting new venture.
Her honesty, her integrity, her dedication, passion for everything that she does, not only in her restaurants, but in her life, is really remarkable.
I'm from Philadelphia, and I worked my way here over the years. Came up here on vacation with a boyfriend for a couple days and absolutely fell in love with Sonoma County and basically moved here 3 months later. That was in '92. Sonoma County is so vibrant with the food makers, the cheese makers, the farmers, people that are really into food and wine are here. Wineries were everywhere, farmers markets. It just seemed like if I was going to be in the food and wine business, Sonoma County was where I should be. I was working at Vianza Winery for Sam Sebastiani, and I just was a sponge. I just listened and I learned. I started in the deli making sandwiches and espresso. I just wanted a job. And within months, I was promoted to a manager and eventually general manager and then the director of operations. I stayed there for 4 years. It started as a very sleepy winery. And when I left, we were seeing 10 to 12 buses a day. I was working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, all hours a day. I was on call for everything. I was managing over 100 employees. And I was thinking, why am I not doing this for myself? When I left, I took a week off and went to Santa Fe and a week in Sedona and just really gave myself a very long overdue vacation. Came back and really worked hard on finding a location. And once I found it, I contacted John and said, I'm going to open this restaurant in Glen Ellen. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back.
Sondra and I met at Vianza Winery. By the time she had decided to leave and go open the Grown Fig, Sondra and I had been working for about 2-3 years. And she basically said, hey, I'm going to go open a restaurant. Do you want to come help me? I said, what the heck? And that's kind of how it happened. We did it all. I mean, we came in and we were on a tight budget. And we did everything from painting the entire restaurant, ripping out the banquettes. I learned how to tile a floor. Sondra from day one had a clear vision of what it was. And from that standpoint, it was, the rest of us were just kind of following it.
I call him the John of all trades. He taught himself how to cook. And he would go into the kitchen sometimes 1 day a week, sometimes 2 days a week, and he would just soak everything up. And he could watch someone do a dish one time and he could replicate it. And one day he just said, I want to be the chef now. And I said, okay. Before we opened, I was sitting with a friend across the street in Sonoma at what was Piatti's. And we were outside under the big fig tree, and it was fig season. I was doodling on a cocktail napkin, and it was the girl and the grape, the girl and the vine. I always loved the sing-song names of England, the pub names. I think they're really memorable. I wanted it to have a ring that people would remember. So I was doodling and plop, a fig fell onto the table. I know it sounds so corny, but that's exactly what happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I love figs. And it became the girl and the fig. And a lot of people tried to convince me not to name it the Girl and the Fig, that it'll never be a lasting name. And I was like, I don't know, I think it could be okay. There were no real French restaurants at that time in Sonoma Valley. So it was a very fun thing. And I knew I didn't want to be traditional French. I wanted to have the bounty that we have and enjoy the seasons and be as seasonal as possible. And the French part came with magnificent cheese courses and kind of the joie de vivre of sitting around a table, having a glass of wine, meeting with friends, and having just a really nice meal and a good time. The most logical thing was do a wine list where we have one wine from, people that are a mile within us. It was a really haphazard way to write a list. The other thought was like, ooh, wouldn't it be great if we could get these fabulous wines that we heard about and we drank? And we're like, who are we kidding? Nobody's going to sell us these wines. We don't even have any history or they don't know us. So we were getting ready and I said, I'll be back. I'm going to go down. And I went down to Sonoma, the wine shop, and I bought all the wines that I thought were Rhone.
And she had all these wines that she had bought. And she basically said, I have an idea. We're going to do, we're going to do Rhone Alone wines.
So it's 1997. I bring all these wines. We taste all the wines. They're really food friendly. And I'm like, you know what? We'll go with this.
I thought it was asinine.
And being in wine country, it was a very risky thing, but not as risky if I opened in Idaho or New York to have a Rhone Alone list.
To Sondra's credit, she was thinking much broader than I was at that moment.
And we got a great review from the Press Democrat like within the first month, and it really talked about the Rhone wine list and how fun it was and innovative and clever.
When I look back at it, and what makes sense to me about Rhone and Rhone wines to this day is they're so openly friendly. They give both me, the chef, and you, the diner, this incredible opportunity to almost not go wrong with what you order for food and what you can then drink with it.
20 years later, here we are with a Rhone Alone wine list, and I think it's been a really wonderful journey. So the restaurant was going great reviews, busy lunch, busy dinner, and I got this itch that it was probably time to start working on another project. And I'd always loved the restaurant where the Girl and the Fig is now. I thought the corner was really intriguing. I think the bar was really neat, the old mahogany, and I really thought it was an underutilized property and could never understand why nobody could make it really successful and hang on. The new owners of the hotel would come in and we would talk and, go restaurant woes and this and that. And I said, if you ever decide you don't want this property, I would really be interested in talking to you about it. I love the space. I would love to be here. And took a while, but eventually they came in. They were having dinner one night and it was later in the evening. And they said, hey, we want to talk to you. And I remember just screaming, going, oh my God, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. It was 3 times as large. It had a patio, it had a full bar, and it was just a phenomenal location.
Sondra has a true deep commitment to the community that has always been important to her from the day she started the restaurant, to get involved with the different organizations, nonprofits that we have here in town. And she's come up with really creative ways to do it. Sometimes letting people choose from 5 or 6 different nonprofits that we have here in Sonoma that they want to donate the portion of that evening's proceeds to.
Her commitment to the arts, kids, healthcare, the Sonoma Film Festival. It's a role model for all of us for how to step up and give. Food, wine, money, time.
From the philanthropic side of things, I think she's extremely well regarded throughout the whole community, quite rightly so. She does a lot of things for some of the charities, local charities, the Rhone Rangers as well as the Hospice de Rhone organisations, and the people in those organisations love her. Absolutely love her, because she's just very generous. She's a very nice, generous person.
I think that Sondra loves this town and she loves the people in this town. It really matters to her to be able to give back in a meaningful way.
Sondra, congratulations on receiving your Lifetime Achievement Award from the Rhone Rangers.
Sondra, congratulations.
I'll miss you, because obviously lifetime means it's the end. And we'll keep a place for you in the restaurant.
Congratulations, Sondra.
Congratulations, Sondra.
Sondra, congratulations.
Love ya.